Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Women in Trades, the 4%. Today I have Zoe here with me, and she is a diesel mechanic for CAT. And I am going to let her tell her story about how she got interested in her trade and how she got to where she is today.
So basically, I started off as a welder actually, and I loved it. I went to school for it, and it was great for me, but it wasn't the thing that I needed to do with my life. Not only that, my boss was a jerk, so that really pushed me out of that. So I actually was looking for a job after that first welding job I had, and I sent a message to my uncle who works in construction. He's an operator and a foreman, and I was like, "Hey, I really want to stay around heavy equipment. Do you have anything I can do there with welding or anything of that sort?" And he was like, "Yeah, actually, you could probably shadow your cousin Donnie." So I got hired on at this company called Horse Equipment Services, and then I became a heavy equipment mechanic through there, and I worked there for about 2 years, and then I started school for it for Ohio Cat, and I was up in Columbus, Ohio for about 3 months, and yeah, that was the worst time of my life. But anyways, I've been working there ever since. I got a bunch of certifications from there.
So, how long have you been with CAT now?
It'll be 7 months this month.
And are you like a fully certified diesel mechanic at this point, or are you still learning in your career?
So I will say I definitely think you learn something new every day.
Same.
I'm not always confident in what I do, but that's a me thing. I think once I get to be a Tech 1, then I will be fully certified in my career. But till then,
Gotcha. Yeah, I wasn't sure how, if you guys had, because for me, I had to go through like an apprenticeship to get fully certified as a journeyman. So I wasn't sure if you guys had a similar type of program in that aspect or not.
So for me, it's kind of weird. I'm still figuring it all out. I'm in the local 18 union.
Cool.
What they how that works for them, if it correlates to Ohio Cat's way of things. But
So who was it that initially kind of inspired you to want to join a trade in the first place?
so my grandpa did what I do for a living, and then my dad did it
Mm-hmm.
for a really long time, and they always said he was the best at what he did. Yeah, so I just wanted to take after them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was
So, sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
to work for the company they both worked for, which is where I started actually, but that was for welding and it didn't work out, so
Right.
kind of ruined it for heavy equipment.
You'll have that. Sometimes life has a funny way of closing doors but opening others for us. Do you ever, are there any other women, do you work in a shop environment, I assume, most of the time? Are there any other women, or are you the only one?
So for Cat, I am the only one, but we have some female truckers that haul our equipment, and we have a couple customers that drive service trucks, so that's cool to see, but I don't see women very often.
Same. What would you say that some of your biggest challenges have been so far in your career, and that can either be just as a woman or just in general as a person?
So for me, I want to know absolutely every aspect of anything that I'm doing. So I'll ask the dumbest questions in the world just so I can make sure that I know it. I'm doing it right. And
Yeah.
that's a challenge for me because sometimes people will look at me like, "But are you thinking about what you just asked me?" But other than that, my physical strength is probably my biggest challenge, which I'm working on it, but
Yeah, I have that same issue as well because I'm only 5'4" and I'm finally almost 130 pounds, but learning, literally, for example, me and my foreman were doing some demo and unbolting some flanges the other day, and he can just use his crescent wrench and break them loose, and I had to climb on top of the pump and stomp on my wrench to get them bolts to turn because I just don't have the leverage. Like if I had a breaker bar or a bigger wrench, I would have, but I didn't have one at the time, so I gotta do what works, you know?
Yes. And then all my tools are at my house in the tote because I don't have a truck. And my toolbox is at my house as well. So I have the bare minimum amount of tools that I need. So I'm always asking people for tools. That's the most annoying thing right now.
That's funny because I keep a lot of my tools in my car, but also as a welder, I'm required to have so much more than like our typical pipe fitters are. Like
Mm.
we're given a required tool list, and it's basically like it's enough that you can fit in one tool bag. It will be heavy, but you can. And so like to have that every day, whatever. But then to also have like all my welding leads, my welding hood. I'm also remodeling my house and my bathroom right now. So it's like I have to have my car empty so I can move all my tile and all my lumber and stuff, and it's such a nightmare. I'm just like waiting on a company truck, honestly.
Yeah. That's my biggest goal right now is I want to be a field service technician, but
Yeah.
that takes a long time. They say that could take up to like 2 years.
Because so if you're a field service technician, do they essentially go out on projects completely alone?
Yes, absolutely. And so for me, it wasn't like that at my old job because I was a field service technician there,
Mhm.
but I also had my mentor with me at all times. Like, and for that, he didn't go alone. So it was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And if you need help out on a job, you can tell supervisor at the shop and they'll grab somebody from in the shop to take with. I haven't been taken out yet. I think, honestly, I want to, but I don't know if the guys can take me out because I'm a girl.
Right. It definitely can be some. So for example, they've never had a problem letting me work alone with our men, but for I think to protect the company, anytime like raise review meetings or anytime I had to go into the office and sit down with a man, they would bring another woman in just to literally just so there was a third person there in case anything happened, which I get it because it's to protect. Now we don't do like raise reviews, and we have a new president now, so I don't know what it would be like now because I haven't had to go in there for a meeting because I have behaved. So, but yeah, back then it used to be like kind of weird because we'd be talking about like my personal life and my private life, and there always had to be an extra person sometimes with things I didn't want to talk about in the first place.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
but other than that, like right now, I'm alone with one foreman on a job, and it's never really been an issue. But I think they also know that I stand up for myself. Like, if I have a problem, I'm gonna handle that shit face to face right then and there. And then if there's if it escalates, then it never has. But then at that point, the office might get involved. But I'm really lucky that I work with really good guys. Like,
Yeah.
at my company.
Sometimes I do, like, I have issues with some of the guys sometimes because, like, you say stuff that doesn't need to be said sometimes, like, just can be kind of rude for no reason at
Mhm.
sometimes. That's a rare occasion, but, like, most of the time I'm like, hey, no, we're not fucking doing that. And if they have an issue with that, they'll go to supervisor, but I've never had that.
Right. Yeah. So I asked you what your biggest challenge has been so far. What has your biggest success been so far in your career?
Honestly, being able to go through it's a newer apprenticeship, or I guess you could call it that. It's called Technical Development Academy, and Ohio Cat has it in Columbus, Ohio, and they've sent, like, I've only seen from Ohio go through it, but Ohio Cat's like nationwide. It's not all Ohio Cat. There's like I don't know, it's weird. There's a Boyd Cat in Kentucky. Like, they have different names, but it's still cat dealers.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that academy I went through, I'd say that was my biggest success, but I also had another thing, but I forgot.
That's okay. If you think about it, let me know and I'll just edit it back
But,
into here.
yeah.
Yeah. So I was curious what kind of machinery and equipment you generally work on and what a normal workday looks like for you, because we have cat equipment like at my job site. We have a cat forklift and a Skytrack, but it's cat brand.
Okay. So if they have like this stickers on them that are like, there's like certain rental stickers on them.
Ours
And
are through McAllister's because I'm up
yeah,
in Michigan.
okay. I've had one machine from McAllister, so that's kind of cool. Anyways, so generally, right now, I'm on skid steers most of the time, sometimes mini excavator.
So what are some of your favorite like brands of work boots to wear for work? Because I know a lot of women struggle with that.
So I really liked my Irish setters, but they only last me like 5 months. And then I
Mm.
had a pair of like, I don't even know, I think Ariat, and they only lasted me 6 months. And right now I'm on Carhartt, and I like them comfortable wise, but I don't know if they're gonna last me 6 months.
That's crazy. I know I had that problem, but recently I've had really good luck with boots. I've done Brunt Workwear sent me some, and I'm gonna be so honest because I really like them, but the women's don't have steel toe, last I knew. So they sent me a pair, and I was like, I need steel toe. And they were like, well, we have them in men's, but they only go down to like a 8, I think. And I'm a women's 8, and I was able to make them work with like thick socks, but I'm like, so you don't even make that go small enough for like women to wear steel toes, so I don't
Right.
like that. And then steel blue boots. They had sponsored like a welding competition I went to, and I ended up getting a pair of their boots. And they're comfortable. I won't say that they're uncomfortable, but they're not overly like I feel like I'm walking on a cloud, but I'm never like sore from them or anything. But they have lasted a long time, and my Brunts did last me over a year or two, but if you have little feet, you can't.
Right.
So, and I know a lot of women like probably wear smaller than a size 8, so
Yeah, what I think that's the most common women's size.
yeah, yeah. So you
So
got like 50% that were bigger and 50%
yeah,
that were smaller. So
I,
hopefully they like come out with a women's steel toe if they haven't already, because they were honestly one of the most comfortable pairs of boots I ever had. And
we
they
should
lasted a long time.
we should just start industrying boots, you know?
I've thought about it. I really have. And people are like, you should make FRs, but I really feel like it needs to be something that like every trade uses. And that's kind of like I started like sourcing some manufacturers and stuff because obviously like I've been doing hoodies and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I think I'm gonna do some like cups and camo hats next, but I don't know. It would be cool to do boots though. I wouldn't even know where to begin for that.
Me either. I think about making clothes all the time, and I'm like, where do I start? Like, I need to make my own branded jeans because none of the ones I wear fit me right. So,
I've been trying to find new brands that I like, and I was thrift shopping and I found it's like Buckle brand. BKE is their
I
brand.
love those.
I really like them too, and I got a pair for like $30, and they make my butt look so good. They just literally, I posted a picture of them on Instagram, and everyone's like, "Those jeans." I'm like, "What a good buy, low key." Like, so I don't know. I've been wanting to go to like Buckle, but also I've been wanting to go thrift shopping.
Same. I love thrifting.
Dude, me too. And today I'm like, I'm gonna be productive. And then all the demons in me are like, go shopping, go out to brunch, leave your house. I'm like, no, I'm trying to be productive. Like, fuck off, bro.
It's not that time.
Dude, it's literally, I've been spending all my money on remodeling my house and my bathroom, but now that I have pretty much like all the material bought, I'm like, I want to treat myself. Like,
I actually just had to get a personal loan to pay off all my credit debts in order so I can afford to remodel my house.
oh my god, that's not fun. I had to do that when I was buying. Well, I didn't get a loan. I had to pay off all my shit so I could get a loan to buy my house, basically. So that was like last year. That was what all my money went to, was basically fucking paying off debt and then buying my house, and then after that I let myself like take a vacation. But so this year it's all going to
Yeah, that's the goal for the year, but until I pay off all my debt, I'm just sitting chill.
You're still young though, right? How old are you?
21.
See, and I feel like I don't know if you're anything like me, but when I was your age, I got tricked into going to college, and with that, I had a bunch of credit cards. No one ever really talked to me about money or saving money. Like, no one in my family was good with money. Like, I really fucked up my life so bad with credit cards. And it's really good that you're taking care of it now at this point in your life, because I hid from that shit. It gave me so much anxiety and stress, and I'd literally ignored it until last year. I was what, like 26 at that point. And once I finally got it taken care of, like, it just feels so much better. It's like a huge weight off your shoulders. But you're doing good because you're young. And
I'm trying because I can't save any money because all of my bills. Like,
yeah,
I bought a dog when I first bought my house, and I bought him from Petland. So I'm doing payments on him.
you're doing payments on your dog. Girl, what kind of dog is this?
He's a boxer. I can show
Aw.
you him. He's right here. But
Okay, I think I remember seeing him in the group chat.
he was $4,000. It's because if he dies, I get to get a new dog from Petland.
This must be an Ohio thing.
I don't know. I know I got him in Kentucky.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know there's one in Ohio. I don't know. There's
Well,
probably
you know what? If you're gonna go into debt, you might as well go into debt over a dog.
yeah. I mean, I say he was the best big purchase I've ever made.
I got a husky Malamute puppy from the shelter, so he was only like $250, and that comes with him getting fixed. And I got a wiener dog that I adopted, and so he came fixed. So they've both been like actually free pretty much, other than they're so spoiled. Like, they get doggy ice cream, they get fresh pet like food out of the fridge, they get the most expensive like kibble I can find, like a toy every time I go to the store. They're the most spoiled fucking dogs. So they were free, but
They're not free.
no, they're not. They're actually not. And not to mention like all the vet trips, because all the vets around me are so busy that my dog got an ear infection, and I'm like trying to get him an appointment as any responsible pet owner would do. And they're
Right.
like, yeah, like 4 weeks. I'm like, 4 weeks? I'm not gonna make my dog suffer with an ear infection for 4 weeks. And then I end up having to take him to a urgent care, which I would do again and again in a heartbeat if I have to. But it's like there's $300 for a doggy ear infection.
See, every time I've taken mine to the vet, it's been very expensive, and I don't always have that money.
Yeah. I've been really, really lucky that I haven't had any major pet emergencies, but
Yeah.
my old roommate, I used to have a roommate like a few years ago, and he has this cat. This cat has got like urinary blockages multiple times, to the point that it's had to undergo surgery, and it's been like $3,000 each time. And then he signs a thing where the vet is like, if your cat is dying, do you want us to resuscitate it? If yes, it's gonna be 1,500 minimum, or we'll just let it die. And he's like, well, yeah, I'll try and save my cat, even though they can't guarantee it will live. I'm like, holy shit, you love your cat. And it's happened twice, the same thing.
Don't get me wrong, I love my dog, but if he's dying, there's probably a reason.
It really depends on the situation for me. Like, of course, I want to try and do everything to save my animal. But if it's $5,000, I'm sorry, but a lot of the time I don't have, if I do have $5,000, I'm saving it for something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of good on that.
I would make a GoFundMe. I would absolutely like make a GoFundMe or
Oh,
something.
yeah,
No shame to say that I would do that, but
please.
literally before I started this, people would ask me to come on their podcast, and it was when I just had my wiener dog, and even after like 30 minutes he gets pissed at me and starts barking, and I'm like,
Give me.
sorry. But other than that, was there anything else that you wanted to add today? Because I think that we covered most of the topics that I generally like to talk about.
I think we covered a lot.
I think we had a really good chat today. You can follow along on Zoey's social media. What's your handle on social media?
So my TikTok, even though it might get taken down, is Zoey Gruber 87, and then my Instagram is Zoey_Gruber.
Nice. So you guys can follow along with her adventures there, and we will see you all on the next episode. Thank you for listening.